Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Welcome back to the Perfect World Masters. Game number 2 about to begin. Draft not too far away. Let's get the thoughts from Jack and Kat back at the panel. What are you expecting game 2?
I'm expecting, I have this planned out, I am expecting a Slardar Venge or Slardar TA strat from SG.
Really? Not the Shaker, Arcward.
No, I am expecting a physical damage minus armor strat from them.
Okay. I haven't asked you, and this is the first time we've had it at one of the Dota Professional Circuit tournaments. It has been in the last patch, of course, but now 6 bans. I only mentioned it because a couple of people went, hey, when did they do 6 bans all of a sudden? I guess that's from my friends that only ever watch Dota when there's a major or a minor, but yes. How's it affecting things so far? Or is it?
I think it's overall good. I think it's a little bit bad because certain teams, say like Team Liquid or Complexity is another good example. Certain teams that have like certain heroes that they're really good on, they're punished a little bit more for having that speciality, let's say, because you have a kind of a free ban now in that first area. But I do think it widens the hero pool a certain amount, and it does develop, especially as we get into newer metas and people start figuring out what's broken and what's not. We will be able to eliminate more of the broken heroes and even out the hero pool a little bit more. So,
what do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I'm mostly with you on that. I think there's also a bit of a change to the pick order as well, where you might have to expose yourself a little bit less. It's a bit more even, I would say. So. Yeah, I mean, as Cap said, like when you're in such uncharted territory with this patch, and it seems like the pace of very drastic changes to the game is going to be increasing, then you have a little bit more wiggle room to kind of get rid of things that you really don't like, or other while they're being figured out and still experimented with. So,
oh god, Bane Elder Titan instead of SD. They could have had Shadow Demon too, but they opt for the Bane. They picked the Bane into the Rubik, which is kind of interesting because you kind of get a free steal of Fiend's Grip if you're the Rubik player. So I'm not sure really what the difference is in their head because I would have thought maybe Shadow Demon was preferable in that regard.
Where are you on the Bane train? Because when we look back to Hamburg, it was on the rise.
Great hero.
You then look at Dota Pit, and it was very much at the 4. And then you looked at qualifiers and suddenly it just started to drop off again. It seems to be on the downward trend, Jack.
Well, I think the slight talent switch around had some impact on that, but this is a hero that I think people expected to become more popular. I mean, again, the emphasis and the trends, the direction has been lanes matter more than ever. You get more gold than ever. Yep. You don't really want to like totally sack a lane or just have a lane not be viable anymore. And that's what Bane's strength has always been. He doesn't offer wave clear or anything like that, the support position, but he's very strong as a lane bully. Teams have picked it for that role for a long time. Some teams value it more than others, but now it's become something that like every team has to respect the importance of these lanes. They can't really sack them for any reason. So this hero is just going to be on the rise for that.
Jack, what was the reaction of the Chinese community when SG beat Vici Gaming the first time around, and then also when SG beat Newbie in one game? They didn't win the best of 3, but they took the very first game against Newbie. Like, what was the Chinese reaction, community's reaction?
Well,
to that?
It's hard to say like everyone in the community, but it's obviously going to be pretty harsh. That was kind of unexpected. Like, again, there's not that much respect or knowledge of some of these other teams, so you don't expect a Chinese powerhouse to really struggle with that. And so the Big Four, the so-called Big Four of the Chinese team, were all in this tournament. like haven't looked that great on the international stage. That was definitely a big surprise. And again, the pressure is on for them to perform as well, because the point system, maybe you don't have as many Chinese slots at some of these tournaments. So in the past, you'd have a system where, like a major, you'd invite 5 Chinese teams out of 16. Now, if you look forward to like TI and just qualifying, there are just far fewer opportunities for that to really be the case. So it's just all the more important under the bigger microscope.
Were they more like, oh wow, SG, that's amazing, or were they like, oh my god, our teams suck?
It's more of the latter. It's always like
that's always China though.
It's always like the Chinese.
It feels like, that way, but I wanted to check. You know,
it's always like, oh, it's like if you want to make reasons for it, you could say, hey, oh, well, the adjustment to the big new patch, or just regular post TI doldrums for some of these teams.
RPG
but you
playing.
can't afford to do that anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Bounty Rubik. Normally night for Vici, which isn't unusual.
Remaining.
This is not what I expected from. They have done this opener before, and in that very series against Newbie, this is the game that they won against them. They took a very aggressive lineup. That's why I thought they would go for the Slordar TA, Slordar Venge. I thought they would try and be a lot more aggressive against Vici Gaming, try and establish tempo off of taking Roshan control. I do feel like SG is pretty good at being able to establish. Like whenever they have a lineup that is aggressive like that, and you need to be able to take objectives early, I do feel SG does a very good job of being able to make rotations around the map to take those objectives. I felt like they were pretty good at being able to establish control via Roshan. And get the advantage with the Aegis.
I mean, you're right, they do seem more comfortable when they can move freely, don't they? They're a bit like Immortals in that respect, in that they can just wander around the map. They're very comfortable. When they're forced to do stuff they don't like doing, that's when they're not so strong.
All right, so...
all right, let's go the other way then.
If they're just going to go down the line and pick the exact same lineup against a very different team, then they're going to go Sand King and Chaos Knight to round up their lineup, because they're literally the same.
Would be a
first 3
replica.
Yeah. So, but this lineup is very different that Vici Gaming is running, because Immortals tried to play a 4 versus 5 kind of lineup with an AM. So they picked like Viper, and they were just like trying to fight pretty hardcore. So this lineup is a little bit different, because Vici Gaming, they are all pretty much fighting heroes. There is no like kind of hard farm or anything like that. They have like a great team fighting offlaner and Omni Knight, which is going to be kind of dangerous, especially for any bounty hunter lineup. Like if you literally just make yourself as hard to kill in team fights as possible, and you just make sure you have better team fights, like what does the enemy team do? They're basically playing 4 versus 5 because they're not getting any track gold.
Huh.
All right, now
we'll change it up a bit, but
yeah.
Take this to my way.
The bans are very revealing as well. Like VG you look at some of the bans, they're afraid of being cheesed. They don't want to lose a game to something like this Arc Warden. They also don't maybe feel like a little bit struggle against Vision heroes. So you see the Night Stalker is still out there. SG picking up the Bounty Hunter that they've picked up quite a bit to provide that vision for the rotations, for their being able to do things early on, but not as strong, I think, in terms of static laners. Razor is probably an exception to that. I think like this hero is just disgusting against most melee laners, and I think they might want to try to dodge that lane, potentially with the Omni Knight.
Why the Overlord?
Omni is also a hero that's been on the rise in like the recent patches, like very strong hero.
That was
going
the other
back
hero.
to kind of that core spot.
Yeah. When we talked about SG and the way that they won against
the
Vici Gaming,
the offlane?
Yeah, they played 2 games that were very similar in that regard. They played pretty turtle heavy. One was based around the Arc Ward, and the other one was based around the Underlord, prolonging the game. And here with the Storm Sphere pickup, great Storm Sphere pick. The Vici Gaming's lineup does not have a whole lot of control against that Storm Spirit. Queen of Pain is going to be particularly important here, and her timing on like the Orchid and stuff like that. Like that's going to be very big for Vici Gaming to establish the tempo of this game and start pushing for objectives. I think Vici Gaming picks some sort of pushing style hero here, because as it is, I really do feel like they have the better team fight. They have the timing window against SG pretty heavily, simply because the Bounty Hunter is not going to give you a whole lot of team fight power. Your biggest powerhouse right now for SG is this Razor, and presumably this last pick. I was going to say Sand King, just because it is such a stable SG hero, and they needed a really strong initiating team fight hero, and you're not going to get much better than the offlane Sand King when it comes to that regard. It was either that or Bat Rider. But I think you needed a more impactful damage team fighting hero.
There's still a pretty, I mean, again, teams kind of sticking with their styles. You mentioned the format earlier, like in a best of 2, maybe you know you're going to get that consistent chance to play everybody. You're going to play a large sample of games, so you can probably stick to your strategies and identity a little bit more. Whereas if you have a best of 3 format and it's like 1 or 2 rounds and you're eliminated, you really got to make those adjustments quickly. That puts a lot of pressure on you. So they can go with the things that they're comfortable with, as Cap has been saying. Like not a huge team fight lineup for them. Probably weaker in the team fight aspect for certain.
So I was going to say Terrorblade or Chaos Knight for the last pick of Vici Gaming. Either one of those I think would have been pretty acceptable. Chaos Knight is naturally tankier, so he's going to deal a bit better with Sand King initiation. I don't know. I think that Vici Gaming walked away with a better lineup again, but I was much more pessimistic about that first lineup from SG. This one, I feel a little bit better. I do think it's a really good Storm game. They just have to prolong the game as long as possible and somehow find a way to split push enough to force Vici Gaming apart, because they are going to play pretty 5-man heavy, and it's not going to be easy for them to find pickoffs with the Bounty Hunter Storm combo.
Yeah, there's a bit of a precision versus brute force type of feeling. The CK is also like a pretty eminent threat in this game as well. Like there's really no answer for him as it goes on. So they're going to have to see if they find those windows between those ults if they're playing in control of the game instead of always on their side of the map, afraid of losing high ground. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Laning phase is going to be particularly important. I feel SG really do need to establish themselves early to be able to make sure that they aren't so far behind that they get run over at 20-25 minutes. Similarly, we do want the Queen of Pain for Vici Gaming to have a good game here. He needs to have a good start. From
a style point of view, what do you want to see from SG? Do you want them to be more impactful this time early game?
I do think they should get pretty aggressive early. Like they should try and utilize their Razor to head into like the Chaos Knight's lane, like 10-15 minutes. I think they should try and bully down towers as fast as possible in that 15-minute window, because they are going to lose out in 20-25 minutes. So they need to take whatever advantage they can early before they head into the mid game, where I don't think they have a chance of beating up the team fight. And it's at that point they have to find ways to split push and force Vici game.
All right, we're going to get more from both of you after the end of this game. Are we headed for a 2-0 for VG? Are they going to take maximum points in their first match of the day? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team for game number 2.
Thank you very much, Paul and Will. We felt like it's maybe a little bit of a better of a draft this time around for SG. I gotta say, I love Razor. The new Razor feels so freaking cool to me. What do you think about the draft, though? Do you think that the CK is just gonna dominate?
Dude, I hate Razor.
Why do you hate Razor?
What? Razor's so boring?
What do you mean? He's got the little passive now. He shoots out lightning bolts all over the place. He purges people.
It's like he tases you once in a while. He's like,
That's awesome.
It's, I guess. If that's your idea of awesome.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm entertained by simple things, but as far as what you think of the draft situation as a whole, do you dislike Razor this game as well?
It's okay this game. Like the laning phase is going to be pretty advantageous for them. They can decide to aggro if they want, which is quite nice. But it does look like Vici are going to dodge it, and CK as a whole like ribs the Razor.
Okay.
You just like turn into more of you, and you blow them up in 2 seconds.
It really does suck. I mean, this is a hero that's naturally wants to be tanky and surviving through a fight, as Berdino actually is able to sneak away one of those wards. So 2 wards, 2 runes rather apiece.
Yeah. Also, this is like the most annoying lane for Storm. Against the Mirana, it was okay, but against Queen of Pain, I think Queen of Pain is by far one of the better solutions at dealing with Storm Spirit.
And they picked Storm into it. I guess that they were hoping to just have a better matchup for him after the laning stage. I mean, how bad is it for him with the Bounty Hunter around as well?
With the Bounty Hunter around, it's actually decent. Depends on where the Bounty Hunter decides to focus his attention towards, but Ori are actually doing an okay job so far in mid, and Ori is reluctant so far to level the Blink, because if he's on the low ground and he gets hit at all, I think he just wanted to get out. But this is where it be.
Speaking of getting out, a couple people going to disconnect. They'll be back shortly, no doubt. And the dagger going to get thrown there. It is a little bit awkward, though. They're running both the Rubik and the Bounty Hunter in the mid lane. I guess feeling like Razor can do okay one-on-one.
Yeah, he kind of does all right. He's not really at threat to die, I think. It's a little bit annoying, but they already swapped out lanes as everyone begins to reconnect in.
So what's the ideal laning matchup in this for SG? Like, what are they looking for as the perfect matchup for them, the lanes?
Kill, harass this Queen of Pain as much as possible. Like, I think the main focus should be trying to get this mid lane as correct as you can. Because this Razor doesn't really have to be a true 1 position in this game. Like, he's going to be more of the 2. The numbers, of course, referring more to the farm priority and less the lanes or the position that they play.
Okay. I guess that's kind of the place that he tends to fill anyways. I've seen a couple of Razors go for Aghanim Scepters every now and then try and just be like that person that stands up on towards like towers and maybe even play like that Tide Hunter role like we saw in the last one. Granted, not as good of a team fighter by any stretch of the imagination.
I think the point of this, like, the lineup for SG is just to get kills and run at them.
Okay.
Like, I don't think you need to go for tower hitting or that, because if you run them over, like, take a really good fight, then it matters a little bit less.
Well, and certainly with the Bounty Hunter, being able to even trade kills and come away from that evenly would be really, really nice. Obviously, last game, too, we saw the strength of an Elder Titan. Do you expect to see the same level of damage in the early game that he put on last time?
It's a little bit different just because last game he had like a really ideal setup. Like, he was tri-lane against tri-lane, and the enemy team had like 1 stun on them. So I think he felt really comfortable. But this game, I think it's a little bit different just because you don't have the same opportunities to get all that damage for free. Plus, there's more mobile heroes on the side. Like, locking down a storm with ET feels pretty miserable.
They're baiting it. Courier going to head back home. The Bounty Hunter was scouting in the area. There's a TP there as well. And now Laposa found over to the side here. He doesn't have Sandstorm. Burrow Strike only connects onto 1. He ends up getting the Caustic down. And Bardino now in the area as well. They could think about turning this. They're going to throw the CK away from themselves. And God, Bane is just so hard to trade with.
Yeah, he's probably one of the better heroes at just like right-clicking down. That's exactly what he's doing so far. So they're gonna swap the lanes again.
Given a blink.
Okay.
First blood solo killing a Queen of Pain as a Storm Spirit. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I'm always down to support the Storm player. That definitely shouldn't happen. And now Ori's a little bit tilted. He's just like blinking forward, daggers in. That's a tilt move. Okay. That's like the like, what did I just do? Because we were talking about it last game, right? Like, Storm should never get a kill in a lane, reasonably speaking. Like, you have to get outplayed right there for that to happen. Because you don't have a stun. You kind of have a slow, I guess, but even that's kind of like mediocre because you can't like stack them up very easily.
Sleepy is there. Yeah, it's nuts. So really big win there in the mid lane at least.
Oh, that's massive. Because it's first blood too. Like, it's already a 600 gold disadvantage for Ori mid. It's almost 1,000 if you round up like crazy.
Good rounding. It's still, I guess does it change the complexion of the lane at all? I mean, he's still getting daggered, right?
You're still getting daggered, but you have 300 more gold to work with.
All right, fair enough.
Like, I don't know how that happens, but...
Is this going to be something here as well? They're moving forward. 40R getting punched in the face. Fairy Fire trying to turn it now. Slowed up, running through a Remnant. Can they find the turnaround kill? In fact, Lanham is going to go down, so Kuno gets a kill as well. Things are going great for SG.
Dude, SG is... I don't know. This mid lane is like... The Storm is getting things happening around the map that I don't like anticipate. It doesn't like quite make sense to me. Like, things are a little bit too successful for him. And meanwhile, up the top, Paparazzi gonna lay down the stun. Here comes the follow-up as well.
Good lift. Able to lift that and turn it back around. Canceling the stun, and I don't know if they would have been able to kill or not, but at least taking away the damage that would have been there. Fenrir and Thelio maybe going to come to contest the pull or make something else happen, as Fenrir is pretty low HP. They are going to be able to bring him low. Is it enough to find the kill again? The creeps, they end up getting the kill.
Neutral my ass.
Land him in the meantime.
If he's got a stun with Mango.
They're making this happen. Burrow Strike, they end up turning instead onto Paparazzi. They still secure the kill. Helio is going to go down. Paparazzi able to get one in return. So just battling all over the map here.
I'll take your.
Oh, hello. And we're back. Ori, level 5. Scream of Pain, level 2, and the dagger as well, level 2. They're going to be able to do a decent amount of damage to him mid again, but all of the lanes feeling like it's going really well for SG right now.
Yeah, right now SG, they've got to be really satisfied with how things have gone. Their core matchups are going much better than expected, like any reasonable amount that they can expect anyways. Ori in this mid lane is struggling quite a bit, is caught up in levels, which is kind of to be expected at the same time since Stormsphere was forced back by the Elder Titan's death. But at the same token, Ori now going to get right-clicked. He does have a haste rune on the side of the Storm, but that was a really far blink.
Yeah.
But it does kind of like reset things a little bit. Like there's not a whole lot that Quap's going to do now. She's pretty afraid because the Bounty Hunter's still around. Ori doesn't have that blink quite up yet because he went for the 2-1-2. So as a result, like Storm just kind of sits here. Now he's got a full bottle again. He's going to get his level 6, which allows him to dodge the dagger. All you have to do is roll in place.
And now Quap gonna be able to get one final dagger there, and then some more damage being dealt. But next couple of minutes, how do you see this unfolding for both teams? Where are we looking to see action most likely?
Probably this top lane, if anywhere. I don't think they're really going to waste too much time trying to gank Young 11. Like they probably don't care about that lane too much, just considering like the Razor is doing just fine anyways. So if there's action, it's going to be top lane, and that's exactly what we see at Fenrir.
Stop on the 2, able to take down 1. The Burrow strike back. Ori there trying to make something happen here. They are going to be able to find Laposa and get the kill with the rotation in.
And Paparazzi going to be the direct recipient of both of those kills. Quite nice for him as Storm now getting chased out a little bit as Young 11 is on top of him. I'm not super sure why or for what purpose.
He wants those bounty runes, man.
Right, that was mildly annoying.
Well, while all that happened up in the top lane, that's going to be Costabile. Able to deal some damage to this tower here. Keeps the catapult alive for a little bit. And now pop an ultimate. Going to force Young 11 to keep you away. That's so much damage stolen.
Yeah, that was actually a lot scarier than I thought it was going to be. Now he's pushing this bottom lane. And this is the trade-off of the top lane going a little bit poorer for SG, is that this bottom lane gets to prosper, this mid lane talked about ad nauseum about how well he's doing by being a Storm trade against Queen of Pain. You're pretty satisfied with this matchup overall. And Blink was actually forced. I think you go for this if you're Storm. You have a DD rune too. This should be a free kill.
Ori is going to be a little bit of a sad panda. Does have mana for the Sonic Blade, turns it back around, takes down 40R. Oh!
I am 90% certain if he committed for it instantly, like as soon as Ori popped his blink, if you go for that kill, you get it. Because he would have been in range then. But he gets debated instead and dies.
Oh, that was...
Alright, well now it swings the other way. Storm had that. Like he had a DD rune, no blink on Queen of Pain. That's the dream. And you still have a little bit of mana left over, but 40R just reacted a little bit like too late.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we can talk all we want about ways that he could have like played it differently, maybe even like rolling to dodge the Sonic Wave or something, but at the end of the day,
at that point.
Yeah, just too much. Well, bottom lane still going quite well for Razor. And with Thelio here scouting out in the area, it's only level 2 on the bounty at 8 minutes in. But they're trying to take down Young 11 here. This would be a big kill. And Costabile not going to be able to make it happen.
I think Lacor hasn't really had too much impact in the mid lane or the bottom lane. But he's actually not doing very well for himself. He's level 2 right now as a bounty. And the thing about bounty hunter is like, you want to get bounty runes. It's in his name. But he hasn't been able to do that.
Look at him now, though. He's going to get 2 of them. He's going to, like, maybe double his net worth. It's not true. He's going to be able to get towards those arcanes pretty soon, though.
He's, like, stupid underleveled, though. Like, that's a level 2 bounty hunter. Bare minimum right now, buddy, is 4.
Yeah. It's rough. Tome of Knowledge later, but by the same token, you kind of want to be able to give that to the Rubik to get to 6. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I mean, Tome of Knowledge doesn't give you 3 levels.
That's true.
If I was a Storm right now, by the way, I'd be upset.
Why is that?
I just like, oh, he did roll him, by the way, to get the dodge off.
Yeah.
Just like, you had such an advantage, and you're meant to carry this game, and it's a silly death. If you get that kill, you really snowball like this game.
Right. Be a little bit careful here again with this stomp in the area. Oh, able to dodge it.
I actually thought he was going to cancel it again, but instead opts to finish it through. 40R pops that arcane rune, best rune in the game.
Smoke rotation up towards top lane. Sand King is in the area as well, but they do have CK ultimate available to them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Those things that could turn around so quickly if they're not careful, and trying to steal the damage. There's the lift into Burrow Strike, taking a lot of this. Can they find the kill? They turn it back around with the Omni-Knight there, and well, nothing doing. But Fenrir also getting right-clicked here by Theo. He's level 3 at this point. Slowed down yet again. Mini stun there as well, but Laposa not quite quick enough. No, they do find the Burrow Strike to turn around the Purification, but it's not enough. They still find a kill, and now Young 11 walking forward into this as well. The Ori rotation, Sonic Wave down. Laposa is very low. A little bit of the Burrow Strike here if he wants to use it. Doesn't connect on the Ori, but they do almost find a kill on Young 11. He's living through it, but does finally get brought down. This is so much damage stolen from the Razor. Trying to man up against Paparazzi, they take him down as well. And Ori forced to turn, quick to run away. Can they get it? They get it! A triple kill for Costabile. Under 10 minutes in, he's so low right now. Fenrir just wants to hit him, but they're going to be able to get it. Damage is almost there. The kill isn't enough. They take damage from the bait as well. Finally, the Razor is going to drop. Fenrir trying to turn this as well onto Bardino, and the body blocks from Theo. They're going to drop the ultimate even. Run away, buddy. But the TP is not. He ended up getting hit by it still.
No, dude, you were gone. If he cancels the TP, it just moves like a quarter inch. He's good.
Didn't that get buffed like a patch or two ago or something?
Yeah,
the range?
Like, a lot of them just like all in for it. You just move down like a quarter inch. You're gonna dodge it.
The most telegraphed spell in the world.
Yeah, like you know it's coming. That's some anime moment, you know, where the dudes just start announcing their moves and they still get hit by it. Like this should not come as a surprise. That giant fissure in the ground isn't good for your health.
Well, a flurry of action, and now it's SG 1k gold ahead. Rough.
This should be a significant advantage for them. The upside though was like during that entire time, Storm just farmed, which is something that they needed to do. And the Queen of Pain died at the same token. Like during that time when she was able to get soloed out by the Razor pretty much.
Oh, Paparazzi just got rooted. They slow. Oh, Repel is there though. Still going to steal the damage. They can chase this down if they want, but might be a bit too deep to dive.
And look, they already have to rotate off. This isn't, as a Queen of Pain player, like you're not going to be very happy about this because you're just roaming around the map. The upside though is that maybe there's a grip attempt right now. Yeah. Fenrir has to go right now. 4DR, gonna get the grip up, or he doesn't have Blink quite yet, or the ulti maybe. 4DR gets out of this if he's really quick about it.
The reality, they get the kill.
They had to rotate a lot of different heroes, and meanwhile up at top, 11 getting low, does have the heal available and the repel.
These supports do not do a ton of damage, although Laposa there, this might be enough. The burrow, the turn, and the burrow almost ends up being able to turn it back around with the Purification, but SG do find the kill.
He quite nearly turned that into a double kill.
Yeah, that was scary. DD rune?
Bottom lane now, being pressured out. This is like a weird, chaotic game. There's 19 kills in 12 minutes. There's like some sort of accord that they reached where they just said, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, and I guess making space for Storm this whole time has been really, really great for him. And he does have a regen rune as well. Burrow away there from Laposa so he doesn't get stomped. And Ori.
4DR is out of mana. He kind of messed up on the regen rune roll. And I mean, this just... I would say that it would be okay, but he has died a bunch.
Okay.
His Bloodstone timing is going to be pretty poor. Like last game, I think Ori had it at 16 with Treads. This game, like, he'd be pretty happy to have it at 16.
Repel working. It's a lot of damage stolen from Costabile and able to take him down. A quick kill. Ori is here as well, though. Sonic Wave, the turnaround, the Purification that came from the Rubik, but it's still going to be a kill onto Costabile, and Burrow Strike through, but they got the Nightmare Wall. Is all happening. They try and turn this again. Laposa juking, jiving, not enough. He does have another burrow in 3, as well as Epicenter. Only a 1-second stun. The burrow connects onto 2 of them now. Laposa still trying to run the purification to get him away. Now Rubik still blink. He runs away. The Storm Spirit jumping from 4 away, finds the kill onto Ori. Now can he find any more here? Track is starting to work around as well. The Olikor, he might have a shuriken toss to go, but Lanham drops down another one of those big fingers in the ground. The reality to pull 40R into it, and they take down the Storm Spirit.
Okay,
the chaos is going to continue.
Bardino dies at the same time to the tower hit. This is such a weird, chaotic dive that both teams know what's at stake, right? But it doesn't seem like they really care. They're still just kind of willing to battle non-stop. Under tower, under tier 2 with the entire team up, no problem. SG, they still take that fight. And the upside is any trade feels okay when you get tracks off.
Right. Yeah, Bounty, who was hurting so bad before, up to level 6 at this point. It's still not great, but at least his net worth is starting to feel a little bit more like a support and not just a dead hero.
Yeah, now he's scouting, getting some good info out there. Lanham also, by the way, we haven't mentioned it enough, but sometimes how he keeps getting these like sick Earth Splitters off that I don't quite understand. But like it's working for them. That spell, for the most part, it's the most easily avoidable ability in Dota.
Right.
But like he hasn't even really had many setups. He just kind of gets it off. I don't know if that's more good on him, as at top, SG, getting around this area.
Yeah. And it's not a tier 2 traded in the bottom lane either. This is just a kind of a freebie, I guess.
It is a decent amount of farm, though, going on the Queen of Pain.
Okay.
Like, she needs some alone time right now to try to catch up. As 4DR makes way up at top 2, maybe supporting a fight if that's necessary for them.
Tier 2's about to go down. The Sand King getting closer to as well. There's still Paparazzi who's been able to farm towards that Echo Saber. You talked about the Veil on the Quap. Anything else that, I mean, it's kind of an interesting build from Costabile, going for the Solar Crest.
It's just a nice early game item against the CK, who, you know, he's never, it's really awkward for CK to build MKB. Like it's not an item that you're often going to see him go early on, because it doesn't benefit his illusions very much in terms of stats or damage. Plus it's really annoying to play against when you're Queen of Pain. And supports that naturally just don't attack fast, like it's going to affect their lives too.
Right.
The ripple effect.
Well, another purification stolen. Feels great to play Rubik against Omni Knight as Theo is sort of stalking that Chaos Knight, making sure that they have vision of him with the track, and now maybe rotating bottom. We do have the Bane in the area, but Ori's just going to be able to TP away, and maybe a track kill here if they can get in time. Oh, I think they just spotted it though. Now Fenrir realizes they're in the area.
Yeah, and 40R. So 16 minutes has passed, but he is starting to get pretty close now as Paparazzi gonna make his way up. Trying to bait out the stun as Static Link does come on bottom at Fenrir. Just gonna sleep and walk away. Does get tracked up, which is more annoying than anything.
I mean, do you think that they start building towards ways to deal with the track eventually? Like, what items are there really for the Vici gaming squad, or do you think you just sort of play around having track on you? Okay.
The thing about Bounty Hunter is that the rest of your team needs to win fights without you. Like, the benefit of the Bounty Hunter is that you get some vision, and if you do win a fight, like if you come on top of a fight, you have track. But the obvious issue with this here is like the lack of team fight that he provides.
Right.
Sure, you can argue with me and tell me that he's going to hit like a 5-man track shuriken toss, but even that, like, he doesn't have a stun. He can't really get up close. You don't really want to get up close with this hero either, which is why I imagine Ice Frog just kept buffing the shuriken toss so that you can do things like the shuriken toss on a creep, so that you don't necessarily see it.
Almost dead. They are going to be able to find that kill. Vici not in a position to turn that around.
Yeah, now they're starting to get picked off, and the gold's adding up.
Scary stuff indeed for the Vici gaming lineup. Again, only a best of 2. There's not a chance to sort of secure those extra points if you get the full and even 2-0 completed. So,
especially with how game 1 went,
yeah,
you could have reasonably surmised like Vici have really figured it out, especially after their like disappointing star ladder run.
Right.
But SG's a legit team, man. As in mid, once again, Lana, you're so greedy. Just carry around dust. Like, neither of them have dust right now. They've got some sentries, but you gotta get some dust.
Yeah. And stolen now. Purification yet again. They've got track on these heroes. They're keeping them back. It does sort of force them away, at least for the moment, from Roshan.
Yeah, this is one of the best heroes in the game against the Omni Knight. Because when you play against Omni as Rubik, you're not sad with anything you get.
Right. Okay,
so you get GA, great. Repel, maybe even better.
With Storm, yeah.
There's nothing bad about taking any of those abilities. It's kind of akin to playing against a Venomancer where you steal Ward, or Gale, or
Nova.
Nova, yeah.
My thanks.
Well, still looking for another opening here. The game has slowed down a little bit. Do you feel like this favors one side or the other, really? Or do you think any team is more happy with their current position in this game?
SG is definitely happy.
Okay.
Like they're winning.
Yeah.
The team that's winning is often happier, Gabe.
Well, I mean, here's what I'm going to say. Like, sometimes you're okay with being a little bit behind because you're like, late game, we got this. We're going to be able to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down.
Kind of. I don't want to blow up your spot here. It's like the team that's up 3,000 gold and has the Storm on their team and Bounty Hunter feels okay.
Okay.
But they are eventually going to take a team fight, and who knows what happens in 5-on-5 team fights. It's like Omni Knight, if you don't burst him instantly, he's so annoying to play against. They don't have any sort of Orchid coming out on the Storm anytime soon, I think. He just completed his Bloodstone, like, not opting to go for the Kaya first.
Again, Posa here in the mid lane, maybe trying to bait something out. They have the Elder Titan right nearby as well. Trying to push towards this mid tier 2 tower. See what they can do. Burrow strike onto one. They follow it up as well, starting to bring him down low and gonna be able to blow him up. That is what you want to start the fight. Paparazzi pops his ultimate as well as Storm Spirit's going in here on Defender. Ori shows up as well. They managed to find the grip. Where's the rest of his health? They slept him. Burrow strike, turn around. Laposa trying to take him down low. It's so much freaking damage, but it's not quite enough. 4 dead from SG and looking like it might be 5. It looks like maybe they're the happier team now.
Yeah. If I can decipher those pictograms, I think that the Earth Splitter hit 5 people.
Look at him, the Storm Spirit, he's all over it. Oh my god, there was a flurry of things reconnecting.
I don't think anything else happened.
Okay.
I think that SG won that fight. No, they lost. They definitely lost.
SG definitely lost that fight.
SG definitely lost that fight.
Oh. 14-18. It's only 1,000 gold lead. There might have been a track kill in there as well. Oh yeah, that's a big old swing.
Yeah, they've
Storm Spirit did get 1 kill onto the Quap.
That was just such an awkward fight. They overcommitted, and they were in a weird position where they had to go for... They took like a high ground area, and somehow this ET keeps getting these like 4-man Earth Splitters off. Which is absolutely sick. All the props in the world from on him. I can't wait to see his damage dealt at the end of this game.
That's going to be something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty significant. And now Queen of Pain has Orchid. Big items are flying out on the side of Vici, and the timings for it are sick too. Like, this is a good time for them to take a fight. They've got a BKB. Queen of Pain has an Orchid now completed. Once she has something like a Linken's or a BKB herself, it's going to be quite hard for her to die.
Level 10 bounty. He's got these wards, going to try and place him down there as deep as possible. You get punched in the mouth right now if you're SG with that last team fight. How do you respond?
By taking another fight, but this time you do it properly.
Are they tracked or is that a visual bug?
I'm sure
It doesn't
it's a
look
visual
like
bug.
it's
It's definitely a visual bug. They would not smoke with track on them.
Laposa, he breaks the smoke, burrow strike on the
Two-man
two.
stop.
Not a bad way to start, but they still have the Omniad in the area. He's separated from the rest of the herd. There's sort of circles of Venn diagrams of pain as they're starting to drain away the damage from Paparazzi. Can they kill him off? Looks like the answer is no for now. The buyback from the Sand King. They're starting to bring them low. Fenrir, is he going to end up going down? No! They instead lose Costabile. They bought back on the Sand King. He's not able to do enough to turn this yet. Laposa ends up getting blown up again. Storm Spirit's dead. SG falling apart at 23 minutes into the game.
Another unsuccessful fight where they got caught out first, despite both teams being smoked out. And when the Omni Knight doesn't get bursted like that, you see what happens. It's very hard for them to remove anybody on the playing field. And with those item timings, the Orchid and the BKB, SG definitely didn't expect that. But now the net worth has swung 3k another way. Maybe it's just like it's a magic number, and this time Vici loses the fight as the net worth has now fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, this is a problem. This is not good. Well, we were just talking about how things were going so well for SG, and the last couple of minutes have just not been for their benefit.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why, because man,
Cost a pile.
can you imagine how OP that would be if this was like Razor's level 25 talent?
That would be something
He
special.
just like has a moving ring of death.
That's great. I love it.
Alright, if that got changed to the hero game, I would consider enjoying that hero.
Yeah?
Yeah, that would be cool.
It would have to be at 25 though, right?
Yeah, his level 25. I mean, it has to be like a level 30 for that to be balanced, dude.
Yeah.
That you just have a constant ring of...
See, the play would be you just get 4 steps and he just like turns and you go 4 step back and forth. Like a shuffle step. All right, well, 25 minutes in, like we were talking about, 3,000 net worth lead. CK, very clearly a problem. He has that BKB done, going back for the Blink Dagger next. It's kind of a cool build. I've seen it a few times. What's the benefit of it, do you think?
For what, sorry?
The Blink Dagger on CK.
Oh, it's just so that you can get on top of people without having to like waste your initial chase. Like the problem with the hero is like once you reality rift, if anybody just like blinks out, it's really hard for you to keep on top. Plus it allows you to just like blink stun, which the problem with your stun is that it's also very easily disjointable, right? By heroes like the Storm Spirit or like the Sand King with this Blink Dagger, but you just kind of eliminate that chance. You should think about it in the same way that Sven gets a blink. Because that's the downside of Sven, right? Is you throw your stun out, but everyone in the world dodges it. And then all of a sudden you've got no lockdown. But like you desperately need lockdown on the side of Vici. Because you're one of the few stuns against the Storm Spirit. They do have an Orchid now, so it's a little bit better. But once Storm gets like a BKB, it kind of evens out again, like it shakes out again.
He's got his Orchid as well. Same time.
Yeah, but his Orchid is less effective because his team is getting run over in the fight.
Fair enough. Reality Rift, pull back 1, 3-second stun. There's a lift from Bardino. Paparazzi trying to bring him low. Costabile is dead. No way to stop that one. And now the Fiend's Grip is there as well. They reality wrapped in the Rubik. And another kill here. Theo Liqueur goes down. Everybody is just falling apart, and there's no buyback on anybody either.
Yeah. And this is what, I mean, when you have a bounty hunter on your team, he doesn't provide team fight. So if you're not running over your team, which it looked like they were doing, but 1 or 2 bad fights and it looks like this, you just have a hero that kind of just like throws sand in people's eyes. You know, he's like, ha, but he doesn't actually provide any substance.
Yeah.
Like dudes are throwing out earth splitters. Like that guy's legit shaking the ground and causing like divides in the earth. And your benefit of like a team fight is that people can see you a bit better.
Right. And even like you saw there that they're able to get some D wards while he was trying to ward back behind the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. So even the vision game isn't necessarily always going into their favor either, because they've been able to keep pretty good track of him and make sure that he's not just able to cause issues. So we do have some lag, it looks like, as everybody is disconnecting. Hopefully they get back shortly. Always a bit of a worry. Okay, they're just gone.
They'll be back.
For sure.
And in greater numbers.
What is, what was that one? Star Wars. That's the one. Old Ben Kenobi. We got our old Toby Wan. Here, I was wondering, he changed his name. I want the Kenobi back.
Toby Wan Kenobi?
Yeah.
Do you, though?
Maybe not.
I remember Toby when he used to cast on like WA casting or something.
Okay.
When I was in Dota 1. Be like, man, I really look up to that guy. Why'd you just laugh there?
Because you started smiling. You just started grinning. That's why.
Because I'm reminiscing about the old days.
Okay. Did you want to finish your story or?
No, that's it.
Okay. What a guy. Well, SG, they got one more to reconnect, and we're going to be good to go. 1526, 6,000 hours. I mean, to me, with like Aegis there as well, this feels like they could just run down a lane almost and finish it.
I don't know if you go that far, but it is getting a little bit rough. The landscape of this game is that they can't team fight anymore. Like,
Okay.
how many team fights in a row do you lose before you're just like, this isn't working? You can only... So they took the first fight because they're ahead, right? And they lose that fight. And you take a successive fight, and you think to yourself, Gabe, like, oh, well, maybe we just initiated wrong, so let's just like smoke up, take another fight. And that fight goes wrong. And at that point, you just realize, like, okay, we actually can't straight up 5-on-5 them anymore. Okay. But at the same time, like, it's easy to still throw. Imagine you get 5-man wipe with track on you, then the 5k gold lead goes the other way. And circle.
Even with permanently tracked CK and Razor having max plasma field, they can't win the fights.
Stupendous.
It's pretty rough right now. The situation is kind of foreboding. Up at top.
Oh, God. They're not going to go for him. Well, the Storm has a regen rune. This could actually work.
This is the turnaround.
Maybe they're going to make it happen. Ori tries to jump away. They ended up getting the Orchid. They're really going to get away from this?
Oh no, they try to do too much there. They got greedy. This is like the...
All right, well, they blow her up still. But now the sleep. Can they turn it?
He's got Orchid again. Oh, but the stun. That timing on the stun was sick. If he doesn't get that, maybe 40R gets the Orchid off and who knows what happens.
Right. Well, they got a kill on the Quap with the Aegis at least.
That is something. Like, they needed that pretty badly before Vici could go for any sort of 5-man. So that part of it was successful, but I think overall it's still pretty...
Ooh, Reality Rift pierces spell immunity.
He's anticipating that people will eventually get beat, and he should be correct in thinking.
I guess also if they get a repel, it would make the difference. And there's Custobiles finishing his BKB, and well, even though they try and find the defensive items, the answer is already there. Things needing to be
150 GPM is a lot, though.
Yeah. This could be a nice little pickup here. Fenrir drops.
Gold is gold. Like, they just need money right now.
Bloodstone charges too. Not insignificant.
Yeah. That's the infinite scaling. They've got track gold and Bloodstone charges.
Do you think that Vici need to start trying to play more towards would this be concerning at all for you at this point if you're Vici? Do you need to like group together and make stuff happen, or do you think you just play more safe?
You probably just like, I don't know, for Vici, you don't have to play that much safer. You're still in a really good, comfortable position. Without the Aegis, like, you kind of know that you're not invulnerable, but now with the BKB completed on Queen of Pain, like, maybe they are.
Okay.
They just needed the BKB on Queen of Pain so that Omni doesn't have to, like, be forced to repel only her. There was a cool build I saw the other day, Omni with Neon Disc, though. So you, like, absolutely can't get bursted.
Oh, yeah.
But he's going to go for a Lotus Orb instead.
I guess a way to deal with the track. Take that off. But Arcane Rune top, obviously a great one to pick up for the Storm Spirit. And looking like they're going to go pick that one up and maybe see if they can find another pick off. Young 11 alone for the moment. Don't have his Lotus Orb yet.
Yeah, they're hunting right now. Here's the fight.
Not a bad way to start it. Stun, trying to bring him down low. Is it going to happen? He got the Lotus Orb delivered to him as they went. And another Earth Splitter. They have the Fiend's Grip. Laposa is gone. Really unfortunate. Blink forward. Can they find this kill? Trying to get away is Rubik, but he's still going to blow up.
And with 3 dead, I think they're just going to march down mid. Storm's going to try to split push this to keep this game going as long as possible, and with the Arcane Rune, he's probably going to force at least somebody back. I'd really like 4DR just grab a TP and continue the push.
Yeah.
Like, skip the next wave, and that's why we see Ori already on the way back, understands the threat.
In the mid lane, like you said, they're just pushing in for this one. Ori is ready to push out bottom lane if they need to. Storm is maybe gearing up for a long zip, who knows?
He's thinking about it, but his math would be a little bit, it'd be close.
Oh, look at this.
To get a kill, like he's just like,
oh, that Lotus Orb delivered right at that second.
Yeah, the timing of that is unbelievable. Like, Storm's still thinking about it. He's gonna send Costabil forward and hope that Ori stays. And he's gonna go for like the one-shot zip. And it just depends like what's faster. Is Ori watching? Because he's gonna get his BKB off potentially.
Jump forward, they get the pull at the same time, trying to get the finish. He is gonna get away with the BKB. Oh, lordy. They've used grip already though, so I think Storm's living.
Yeah, that was really close though. But Lanem once again foils those plans.
What a player.
At top, now at bottom, was a BKB forced, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the 10-second charge, which is nice.
I mean, in this, the way that it feels like they've designed their draft, they have like 3 defensive heroes, and then just all the damage from CK and Quap.
Yeah, they don't need anything from their Omni Knight. He just needs to save these 2 cores. So far, that has been successful, but
I don't know what they're trying to do to Paparazzi there, but it ain't working. As they Sonic Wave as he lands. Ori, very upset about the situation.
They need to get out right now, and Queen of Pain has a gem. She's trying to run forward, but everybody from SG has already exited the premises, and a BKB. No? Okay. He does have the BKB on the courier. That is a significant pickup for him. With that, it's going to be quite hard for them to kill him. The only thing that they have, of course, being... Okay, Storm, you need a TP out. This would be really nice if he gets out for free.
That was really good.
Yeah, he forced out another BKB charge on the Queen of Pain. Didn't have to really expend too much other than his mana. Has to go back to base anyways to pick up his own BKB. So all in all, not bad. And this is how they're going to have to come back into this game. Be annoying as possible. Don't allow Vici to just go high ground.
Right. Razor doubling down on his lightning form, picking up the Maelstrom right there. But Fenrir finds the grip from far away. They do have the Bounty Hunter in the area, but with a heart on CK, there's never going to be a chance. And 4DR actually didn't have any mana left. That was a long zip. Time to run away.
They're going to reset things a little bit. And that they're just thinking to themselves, okay, now we have the opportunity, I guess, with Costabil dead.
Gem, Quap, they found him. Ah. Theo, he's going down now as well. Ori unstoppable streak. 10-4 and 12.
No opportunity to even get his track off as he was silenced. And now Paparazzi with that heart tanks all this damage, doesn't really care, can have his armlet on permanently, which he does, nearly 5,000 HP. That is a lot of health.
That's a good point. He is impossibly hard to take down. And like right behind him too, they've got Bane, they've got Omni Knight, they've got Elder Titan.
SG, I don't think they can fight this. I think they have to split.
All right, we're going for the split push games. The post is there. All right, they're coming back to fight.
They probably have to. I mean, this is just not a fun situation to be in because you can't take the fight, but if you split push, then Vici probably have enough to lose.
Okay, they're going to be able to take those down. At least Paparazzi jumped forward for it, but they're already bringing them down solo. Bardino's gone. 40 are trying to make it work. They are hanging him down low with the Sonic Wave. Finds the kill onto that Sankey. He has buyback again. Her splitter doesn't connect onto that many. Now the Sonic Wave stolen by the Rubik. Is this going to end up working out for them? Is it enough damage? Looks like the answer is no for now. The Storm, he's going to buy back as well. They bring down Costabound. No buyback for him. A triple kill for Paparazzi. They're taking them all down. Ultra kill. Go get Laposa. Make it a rampage. We'll see if they give it away to their buddy as they try to bring him down for a strike. Is it enough?
They're trying.
The lift up GG. Does the game end before he gets the kill? Rampage for Paparazzi.
Oh, they're trying to deny him too. This is some real spiteful stuff, but they did allow him to get the rampage.
Wow. 17-40. It was 18,000 net worth lead, and I don't know. It felt to me like there were so many moments where SG was like right on the brink of being able to take it over, and then it's kind of like squished on their throat a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that one fight